What I'd like to talk about today is positioning in the golf swing. Once you have a good address and a good body pivot, the things we want to look at is the positioning of what the club, what your hands and arms are doing in the swing. So we're going to do that from down the line. So we always start from the beginning. So the first position or link number one that we'll tend to get the players into will be the address position. So we're looking here at the posture, at the aiming of someone. So the feet, shoulders and hips we like to be parallel left. With the very good players, our shoulders might be slightly open. The higher handicap players will tend to have the shoulders slightly closed just to help that downswing in transition. Once we set up there, we're looking at the posture. So with the posture, an easy check we tend to do is we'll work on your shoulder, arm and coming down to the middle of the feet. You'll get some people that are too far away. Again, you'll notice that the line is going to be outside their feet, or especially people that are back on their heels, the line will actually sometimes be behind them. So we're looking at getting the grip, the alignment and the body posture correct. At the second point, what we're really trying to do is move everything back away together. So the angles that we set up at setup, link number two, we're just moving the club head back all together. So the club head, your arms and your shoulders are moving back at link number two. The club face is staying the same. Your body and arm position will stay the same. So it's really moving everything back together. Link number three, the club head will be parallel with your feet. The toe of the club will be pointing up. And now the club has gone back and around from here. The club head is slightly outside your hands. Link number three, the club will be in line with your hands. The club is parallel to the target line. Here we've made a small amount of body action. Very important not to do too much body action that we've seen in many good players, because they'll tend to get the club too flat or too far behind them. So number three, link number three, we like to see the club head straight out in front. From there, link number four, we're trying to set the club at a steeper angle. So very important to get the club at a steeper angle. The butt of the club will be pointing somewhere between the ball and your feet, going along the line. Many players will tend to get it in the wrong position here. If we can get you in the right position halfway back here at link number four, you'll see my right arm is folded, very relaxed, but my body action is around about 75% completed here. Now to complete the top of the backswing, all I need to do is just complete my shoulder turn, and the things we're looking at here is the back of my hand and the club face in the right place, parallel to each other. Okay, we've made a complete body action, we've wound up back behind the ball. Coming into transition, so with transition we're moving the left foot or left knee forward. And the very important thing here is that movement of moving the left knee forward without turning our hips or our shoulders back towards the target, because when we do that the club will get out in front of us. Okay? Very important to make that movement forward, keeping your shoulders closed and your hips closed to the target. That will tend to get the club head and the shaft plane coming a lot shallower into the ball. And that's very important for the amateur player that will tend to get it very steep. Halfway down, now we'll start rotating through the ball. So as you can see, my right arm has started to move, my right shoulder, right hip is starting to move into the shot. Here my weight is still on the right foot. We still want to maintain our wrist hinge, but as you can see, my arms are starting to come into the, right arm is coming into the shot. Again, the club head is parallel with our feet. Coming into impact, what we'd like to see is hips slightly open, your shoulders are square, the weight is up onto the left foot, and the shaft, the original shaft plane is back online. So you've planed, got the club back on the right swing plane. A lot of amateurs will tend to be high at this point. Want to make sure that we're getting the club head and your hands back into the same place. Again, moving through the ball, we'd like to see, as in link number two, we want to see the club head is slightly outside your hands. It's a mirror image of what we were doing on the backswing here at link number two. Here we're moving the club through, extending down towards your target line. Halfway through, we're making the same L shape that we were making on the backswing here. So the club is popped up into the L shape. When we come through, we're looking at getting the shaft coming through your shoulder and then moving all the way to the finish. So on the full finish, we're looking at you completing your whole right side is going all the way through the ball. And that's very important for the amateur player, as they tend to lag back and try and help the ball up into the air. So I hope these 11 positions or links have helped you to have an understanding of where the club should be. But one thing that I'd really like you to focus on is that golf is an athletic move. So I want you to get with your pro, get some drills to get the same positions that we're talking about, but with much more feel. It's really important when you practice, do those positions at home. They're very important when you take it to the golf course. Make these moves into a flowing motion. So if you can get some drills that are working on one or two of those particular positions, work on them in a flowing motion, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to take this onto the course.